I'm live. I'm alive. How about that? That's good.
That is good.
Hello. If nobody shows up, that's fine. I just went live.
I'm here.
See if anybody pops in.
There we go.
It's alerted me over here.
Okay. Yeah.
My wife knows I'm live. She's on the desktop. She says I'm live over there.
Well, I have to put it-
I'll just talk to you. How you doing? You got to type back to get back.
Okay.
Funky's in. All right. Welcome, Funky. Yeah, I just went live because I'm bored. I didn't have a video for this week. My opinion piece on the which is better, the convertible, the hatchback, or the coupe. That one there does good. Hey, stupid fast truck in the house. Mustang guy 6501 in the house. All right. We got the heavy hitters up in here. Glad to see y'all in here. I don't see any yellow. Oh man. Believe it or not, we're probably gonna paint the walls in the living room yellow. So
You have a vacuum
that
cleaner
section
by
right
us.
there. There's a yellow vacuum cleaner. I see a yellow tip. Hey, everything's in reverse. Wow, that's weird trying to do that. Anyway, Hatch is Mustang guy's favorite. Yeah, mine's the convertible just because I've had one for so long. But you know, I got nothing against any of them. Yeah, I think Funky. I think you got a yellow wall in your house. I remember spotting it one time. I got a cat. It was just asleep, and my son picked her up and threw her in the camera shot. But anyway, yeah, we're thinking about painting it yellow. Just change it up. We've had it orange for quite a few years now, so it's time to change it. Yeah, Mustang guy said he don't have a favorite. Really, yeah, it don't matter. I mean, your car is your car. If you got a favorite, it is what it is. What I would like to talk about that brings up a interesting conversation because nobody's wrong. We can't say that the coupe is better than the convertible. We can't say a convertible is better than a hatchback because they all have purposes. Funky says no yellow wall. I thought I saw a yellow wall one time. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe you were at somebody else's house. It was like 2 years ago, probably. But anyway, the coupes, everybody's saying they're selling higher than anything else. And because they are rarer and harder to find, not chopped all to pieces. So third party, I will totally agree with that situation. I totally think they are selling higher. I mean, I know the asking prices are higher, but what do you see? Because I'm in every Facebook Fox Body page there is. It's ridiculous. Probably 20-something groups of Fox Body groups I'm with. And the coupes have higher asking prices there because they are harder to find, not tore all to pieces and not broken and chopped up and turned into drag cars. But the at Barrett Jackson, at Mecum, you see convertibles mainly because convertibles have always been stuck inside of a garage, most of them, not all of them. So they've been taken care of a little bit better. I think that's why there's so many more. There's so many more of them. That's why you don't see coupes at Barrett Jackson at all because it's so hard to find one that hasn't been tore apart and turned into a drag car. And there's my wife. So yeah, like I say, I think third party, the coupes are doing very well in pricing, but the coupes are just not making it to the big auctions where the collectors are just because there aren't that many. Mustang Week had that Bimini blue coupe that was inside. Gearhead did a video on it. That thing was right, and that's a low mile car. That car would sell very good at every time I move, I'm shaking the camera. But that car would sell very well at Mecum. But you know, like I say, there's not many of them. You can't find them. You can find plenty of feature cars. The yellow with the yellow feature car, the red feature car, the white feature car, they're everywhere. But those coupes are just so hard to find that they go very well on third party, but for collector standpoint, you just can't find them in factory condition. That's what those big collectors that are paying $65,000 for a 7-Up car. I wouldn't pay that for a 7-Up car. It's a pretty car. It's just not my cup of tea. I just don't like a green car. I don't know. I've just never really have other than bright greens I like. But yeah, Funky says he's got the hatch, the coupe. He doesn't miss having a vert because I can't miss what I never had. Yeah, but you with the convertible, you love them or you hate them. There's I don't know anybody who's got any in betweens. There are a few people who have a little bit of everything, and I don't know if I run across a coupe at the right price one day, maybe. But I like the open air feel better. It's just more fun, and I'm down here in the South, so it's better weather all the time. So that's what I like. I can enjoy my top down. I mean, yesterday we had Christmas parade and it was 75 degrees.
Two Christmas parades.
Two Christmas parades we went to. And yeah. So down here, the convertibles are everywhere from here down to Florida, from North Carolina down to Florida. Man, it's just convertibles. There's plenty of them and they're in good shape. No, we don't get salt. I think our roads get that brine solution, which has some salt in it. We get that maybe twice a winter, maybe. We might see one flurry per year. I know, Funky, y'all got snow up there already? I bet you do. I'm out eventually. T-Top Ginger. Now, that'd be sweet. Man, the Aero cars, when they're done right, when the stance is right and the wheels are right, the Aero T-Top cars are sweet. They didn't make them, so they just look cool. I don't know what it is about those cars, but they just look really good. Fox Body Nation. Roberto Benacourt. I can't say that last name. Luke Clay said hello. Clay says, hey, man. What's up, Clay? It was good finally meeting Clay. Good putting a face to the comments. Met him at Foxtoberfest. He says he likes this December's cold. I like snow once a year because that gives me a chance to get the four-wheeler out and play. And I've got an old Fox Body hood. If it snows, I'm gonna make a video pulling kids around on the Fox Body hood behind the four-wheeler because I've got the one that was on the car that it looked like it flipped up and there was so much Bondo in it. I'm like, I'm not messing with that hood. I bought another hood for that T-Top car. But yeah, I like a good mix. You know, we were at 75 degrees yesterday, and we're probably I think everything's gonna be 60s this week, but we actually went from freezing one year to 80 degrees in 2 days, and that's bad. That'll keep you sick. That's not good. Yeah, Funky said they've already had some snow. Yep. Yeah, I like the snow. I like for it to come. I like for it to go. 2 days, 3 days, gone, get away. That's it. I grew up down here. I like it. I lived in Portland, Oregon for almost a year back in my teens when it was 89, 88, 89, 87, 88. I lived over there and it snowed a lot and it rained ice. I'd never seen it rain ice before. We call it sleet here. And usually when it does it here, it's like for an hour or two and it's gone. It like rained ice for half a day and ice was this thick, you know, about a good 3/4 inch to an inch thick on everything. Traffic was at a standstill and Portland was it's all hills. It's over there right off the Cascade Mountains. It was crazy trying to get to school. I actually had to go to school. I lived at the top of a hill and it was 4 blocks down and then 5 blocks up to the high school. And I walked because it was so close. So I walked in the snow uphill in the morning and then I'd walk downhill and back uphill. So I walked to school in the snow both ways every day that it snowed. My Mustang guy said he likes snow on Christmas Day. Yep, that's it. That's all I want. Yep, we had that in 89. We had White Christmas, and I think we've had one since then, and that's it. But yeah, if I had it, that's what I'd want. With the days I'm already off and just chilling out. His dad used to pull him around on a Maverick hood with snowmobile. Yeah, that's fun. Yep. My brother-in-law's got a 65 Chevy. He's got a couple of them for parts, and he's got one. They used a 65 Chevy pickup hood, and if you know, that thing is got a big curve on the front of that, and it was that's what you want because then you can go through the deep snow. That thing just glides right across it because it's going to be hard to stick the front of that thing down under the edge of the snow anywhere. Stephen Muller, welcome, Stephen Muller. Good to see you. I know where 85, 86 T-Top is. I might go ask it's still there. Yeah, Ask about it, man. Get it. If nothing else, you can turn money on it. Right now, since I don't have a whole lot of money in that one, I can turn a profit on that car. I've got it. I got 2 carburetors. The 750 was on it, and the 750 will idle low. It won't take any gas. And I'm not a carburetor rebuild guy. I've done it on my 4-wheeler a bunch because it's all the time getting junky gel in the fuel and junk. I can rebuild my carburetor on my 4-wheeler easy, but it's a little old tiny carburetor, and there ain't nothing but 2 jets and a few things just to clean up, and that's it. That Holley's a whole new deal. So it idles low, so I can put around a yard. A guy give me a 600 on it that I've been friendly with forever. He's like, here, try this. You know, I put that on it. It'll only idle high. You have to keep gas to it. It's no fun. So I'm just going to buy a Holley, put it on it just to get it around while I can tinker. Trying to do some financial goals on the house first, try and get it paid for and stuff like that's my goal before I dump a bunch of money in that T-top car. But so right now I can make money on the car. Once I start playing with it, I'm probably not. It's like anything else. You don't put money in the car to invest in it unless it's one of them low miles that you can buy and sit on it for 3 years and flip it. But yeah, we all jump on trampoline when it's covered in ice. Yikes! I love your T-top. Yeah, I like the T-top. I'm ready to get out there on the road. I got to get the brakes, and my goal was to just get it where I could idle it in and out of the shop, get the brakes working, and do something like that. But with my back, man, I don't know what happened, but 3.5 weeks ago, one day, my back started hurting. Like 3 hours later, I could barely get up, and then 2 days later, my leg would go numb. As soon as I stood up, my leg would just start burning and go numb, and it ended up being a herniated disc. When the disc in my back it got come out and was putting pressure on a nerve, and that was cutting off circulation to my leg and killing my leg muscles. And it was not fun for about a good week and a half. Not fun at all. I took a week off. I had a couple of days off for Thanksgiving, and then I took almost a whole next week. So I was out of work for a week and a half. And I'm way better now. I can stand up as long as I want to now. I get a little throbbing around my knee and on my front muscles, but
you only missed 4 hours of pay though.
Yeah. But yeah, we're doing good. I didn't miss any money from work other than 4 hours. I had a couple vacation days saved up, so 30 hours. So yeah, on Thursday, I took off Monday through Thursday, and I had 2 hours. I missed 2 hours there, and I left 2 hours early to go to chiropractor and get work done again. So we're getting there. But yeah, I can walk, stand, do whatever as long as I want to now. I just get a little numbness, but it doesn't hurt anymore. It just really stinks because I'm about 80-85%, and I like to go. I'm wide open all the time. I hate sitting around not being able to work. I hate people having to tote at work. You know, we have to go on roofs and inspect roofs and work on stuff. I hate having somebody else having to tote ladders and mess with me. I like to do my own work, but that's fine. I'm gonna milk it. I'm milking it for what it's worth. Yeah, I had a 1/4-mile walk on a 2-track to get to the bus stop. Ooh, that funky used to walk to school on the train tracks. Yikes. Is that a 2-track? Is that a train track, Funky? Is that what I mean? I get 5 more weeks vacation December. Yeah, I get my dump on January 4th because I've used up every bit of vacation time I had. And I get 144 hours because I've been out there 11 and a half. I know 12 years. It'd be 12 years come January 4th. So I get my new dump. I get 144 hours. That's pretty good. That's 1 week Mustang week, maybe a week of Oktoberfest. I don't know. We'll see. I know we're going to the Outer Banks big family deal with like 15 people. So I'll use up probably a week there. So I'll have it all planned out. You can park it here. I won't mind. Dude said I can park my T-top Mustang. Yeah. Hey, if you want to work on it, I'll let you work on it and bring it back. We've got almost all the old nasty purple tint. That's, you know how tint purples up. It's already purple and starting to purple up on Old Yeller a lot. So we're probably fixing to at least get it off, and I'll probably retint those at like a 35 or 50%. Not real dark. I don't like those windows real dark on that car because I drive it a lot at night coming back from some of the car meets and stuff around here. But yeah. 2-track is what we Yankees call 4-wheeling type trail. Oh yeah. Yeah, I get you. 2 tracks. Got it. Yeah, we have a lot of those. We have a lot of 4-wheeler trails around here. Horse trails too. I live right here. The back of my house is that way. There's a 7-mile by 6-mile, so 42 square miles of horse riding trails, which also has logging paths where the 18-wheelers go in there and they cut woods out and stuff. But there's horse trails galore. It's a big horse riding place back there, and we get in there in the four-wheelers during the off season when the horses aren't out a lot and when they're not hunting in there. Yeah, where are you out of, Mustang guy? 6501. Where are you? I've watched some of your videos. You're not horribly too far away, but Luke Plays has got to go. That's my nephew, if I'm not mistaken. Southern Kentucky. Yep. You doing? Yeah. Y'all fare pretty good with the tornadoes. We had some family. We just called some family that was from tornado. My wife's family, they're from out there. And it was like one of the big ones went about 10 miles away from their old place where they did live. They're in Florida now. So they're snowbirds. Kentucky. Yep. Yeah, that's tragic. I hate seeing that mess that happened out there. Oh, where was I? Let's see. Yeah, the third party, like I say, I think the Coops do good third party, but they're just not showing up because there's not enough of them out there to show up and collect their world. How about that yellow Saline? Did anybody, if you saw it on my video or anybody who went to Foxtoberfest, the yellow Saline that was in the for sale section over there by the non-Mustang Fox Row, where all the Fairmonts and the wagons and all the cars were, that thing, I remember that car was for sale about 2 or 3 years ago. He had a yellow McLaren convertible. He was wanting $8,500 for it. Guy down in Georgia. And he had that Saline convertible, and it had the yellow mesh wheels. And if you type in yellow Saline Fox body, you'll see it pop up with the yellow mesh. And I like the yellow mesh better. And I've always liked the yellow cars with the yellow, the Speed Lab wheels too, the 5-star yellow ones. But that Saline, he's wanting 24,000 firm is what he says, and he got it for cheap. I bet he got it for 17. But I mean, you know, that's just, there ain't nothing wrong with that if you're a collector and that's what you do, turning a profit. That's the way it is. That's the way life goes. I should have got it when it was 17, and I should be asking 24 for it because I've always wanted one bad. And that one yellow, but that was a factory gray car. They did not make it. They only made 2 yellow Saline Foxes. So there's your junk trivia for the night. And both of them were convertibles, and I think they were both built off of feature cars. I might be wrong about that, but they were both. One of them might be a 92, but one of them was a 93 with yellow Speed Lab wheels on it, 5-spoke Saline Speed Lab wheels, and the other one has gray, and that's the only difference between the cars. And I've Googled them and looked at them just whenever I was looking at yellow Saline, and the only 3 I've ever found are those 2 and the yellow one that was at Foxtoberfest. And I would love to have that car. The yellow piping, I mean, that car did not come with any of that yellow, and somebody has done a lot of work on that car to make it. It looks good to me. I know yellow ain't for everybody, and Corvettes ain't for everybody, but for me, they are. I love me a Fairmont. Yeah. Matt Saban. He's from over there near Charlotte, near Foxtoberfest. He's got that blue. His is it's the Zephyr though, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, his is Zephyr. I did a video on his car because he come up to me 2 years ago. I was talking with him. He seen my channel when I was first actually getting into the Fox world. And the Fox, doing the YouTube Fox body stuff, and we hit it off pretty good. And he was telling me he was building a nice looking wagon, and I saw it this year. And that thing is crazy. Stephen Muller wants to know where Camaro Man is. Where is Camaro Man right now?
In the drawer.
He's either in a drawer or in the trunk of the car. We keep him hid. We keep him locked up because he's a mess. But yeah, I'd love to have a Fairmont wagon. I've got a picture on my phone of one that's in yellow. Go figure. It's got the Mustang front end on it, like an 88 GT, and they actually extended the ground effects wheel well to wheel well on the GT, and it just looks so good. I like that car. I'm always seeing where people want a. Let's see, find that car. I'll show y'all. I can do it this way faster than I can try and figure out. I need this crazy technology. Look at there. There's that yellow Saline. It ain't showing up yellow on the. Yeah, it ain't. That camera right there is toast. But yeah, that's the yellow Saline with the gray. I don't like the gray wheels. I like it better with. Maybe if I get it back further. Anyway, there is a yellow wagon that just looks so cool. Somebody did a good job on it. If I can find it. I don't know where it is. I've got it. I got too many folders of pictures. And Messenger. Nope. Nope. I don't even know where all my pictures are. Oh, let me show y'all something. Let's see if this thing will come up and I can get a good picture on it. It don't look like my camera's showing up good with yellow. It's not. But check that out. Yeah, the closer I get, the better that looks. Look at that thing. I think that's a Canadian tag. What is that tag? But I think that's Canadian. That's a 80 or 80. It's at least a 82 or under. As you can see, the hood is not a. Seems that right there. Oh my gosh, that's the prettiest yellow Mustang I know of, and it died. But yeah, look at that. It's not a true Saleen, of course. There was no Saleen before 1984. But look at that thing. Whee! That's my dream right there. I would love to build the T-top car like that, but I don't. I can't give all my plans away for the T-top car. Will it be yellow? Will it not? I don't know. There's a yellow 86 for sale. If anybody's looking at it on Facebook, the guys put it on Marketplace once or twice. It's on all the Facebook Fox Body pages. There's a yellow 86. He's asking 10 for it. And he's been asking that for about 3 or 4 weeks, and I don't think he's getting any hits. But it's a pretty car. It's nice. Got a nice paint job. He's got the black trim on it. Where my car, I'm trim deleted. I just got the GTs in black on mine. I cannot find that picture of that yellow station wagon. I know it's in this phone somewhere. And there's a picture of me and Funky 5-0. Look at there. You got that picture, Funky? Me in my yellow suit. Being stupid. Where's broke down? Yeah, Camaro Man's broke down out there somewhere. I hadn't seen him since he read the Twas the Night Before Christmas deal on that video. Mr. Mach 1 has the rare 2-door Fairmont. Yeah. There was one at the where I bought that T-top car. That guy had those 20-plus Fox bodies and a couple other odd-end cars. He had a 2-door out there, old box top. And I was like, wow. I don't know enough about them cars to get into that thing. 82 GT T-top hatch. Yeah. I hear you, Mustang guy. That would be nice. There's a duck. There's a yellow duck. In the morning, I start my car, it idles fine, then it act like it wants to die. RPMs go back. RPMs drop back down, then back to normal. Stock 86 Mustang GT. Who knows, man? Mine was giving me a fit a while ago. I think it's because it's cold. It might be mad with me because I sit it out all night because I got a big scissor lift in my shop right now because we borrowed it from work to hang a bunch of projectors and new wires and stuff and do some lights at our big church, the big building. So the car is actually outside tonight. I got a cover over it though, but the yellow car is not happy with me. It was running ragged. Once mine warms up, probably after a good minute, it's fine. But that first minute or so, it's odd. And it could be right there at your throttle body. Some of that needs cleaning. Who knows, man? I'm just happy that it cranks and runs. Ooh, a Barra in a Fairmont. Barramont. Man, yeah, those Barra engines are sweet. Now, that would be fun. If I had just money to throw at something, I would love to build a Barra engine. It would do good around here. It would get a lot of publicity because I'm right here at the military base, and I've got all these young guys. I call them kids because they could be young enough to be my kid. But, they're all 20 to 25, 26. They're all the ones that show up at the car show because they're lonely and they can put money in a car because they're living in the barracks. They can just throw money galore at these cars, and they show up at all these cruise ins and stuff. They would love a Barra in a Fox body because they love the Fox bodies. Whenever I show up, first time I ever showed up, I didn't know anybody, and they just flocked to the car because you just don't see a lot of. They're out there. I mean, the Fox bodies are out. There are a lot of them around here. We just started a new group right here near about 20 miles from the house, Jacksonville. Guy named a new group there, so we're starting to join up. We're gonna have a few meets and stuff. They've already cruised. About 4 or 5 of them showed up and cruised together. But yep, Stephen Muller, gotta go school night. Bye. See you later, Stephen. Yeah, I'd love to have a Barra and a Fox body that would draw some attention, and it would be fast. I need a good fast race car other than my cruiser. My yellow car is just a cruiser, not a bruiser. I take it way too. I did do a nice power brake. I backed out on the highway today just because I hadn't drove it in a while. Which we drove it last night. We went to a parade last night, and I just drove it just because it hadn't been driven in 3 weeks because of my back. And it didn't hurt to get in it anymore. I couldn't even get in it whenever my back was down. I tried getting in there and turning my hip, and my hip and my leg said, "No way, Jose, this ain't happening." So, but last night I was fine driving it. We took it out there and had my cool lights up under it. Some people think that's crazy, but I put neon lights under that car, actual neons, and I still had the bulbs at my mama's house up in her attic of her building.
She said you had a lot of stuff
1992, when the car was still black, I put green lights under. So yeah, when they first come out.
Your mama said you have a lot of stuff there.
And then I went purple as soon as I painted it yellow. I was at Myrtle Beach cruising. Somebody's like, "You need purple under that now, not green." I'm like, "Yep, you're right. Let's go purple." And I still got the purple lights somewhere. I don't have a transformer for them, and I'm pretty sure the wire is so brittle, it's probably like plastic. It probably feels like hard plastic. You probably touch it and it fall apart. But anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for stopping in. I ain't going to hold y'all in here. I just wanted to do something. I know I didn't have a video for today. I was going to do another opinion piece. Who's this Dexter Catchings? Can we take the streets back and beat these Hellcats on the streets? With the right setup. These new cars, man, are so daggone fast. I mean, 4-cylinder turbo Mustangs now. My car don't stand a chance. My little old 200 plus horsepower. I was like, they just don't stand a chance. Funky's preparing something. He's preparing ... What kind of dots you preparing, Funky? Yeah, those Hellcats, man. Good grief. That's 707 horsepower. I have not rode in the Hellcat yet. I have rode in 2 SRT Scat Packs. You know, I've rode in the 2-seater, my buddy's Challenger, and I've rode in the 4-door Charger, and those cars are quick. Yeah, 2.3 Eco. There's a couple of Eco swaps out there. I think Caleb Richards did a story. Foxcast, he did one, an orange one. They did a 2.3. May have even done a turbo on that car. It was pretty neat. Yeah. If you can hook up, man, you can outrun anybody. The best thing about drag racing, bracket racing, where you're not doing heads up racing, you bracket race, you can win if you're good and you're consistent. My car did good back in 97, 98. I was drag racing. The company I worked for, we had a golf league and all this, and some of the guys like, "Hey, we got guys who race cars. Why don't y'all pay?" You know, they would pay half our way into drag strips. It was $10. I could go race, and I raced 2 seasons out there, and we did a point system every night. And my car, bone stock factory, my car, if it was cold, if I didn't warm it up a lot before I got out there, would run a 971 stock. That's a stock 1986 with the E6 swirly heads, as they call them. Factory setup, factory area. This is it. The good thing about the convertible 5.0s, at 86, they started putting 8.8 in there. They were 327 gear, so that helped a lot. That gear, that's a good eighth mile gear. 373 would be better for 8th mile, but I was running 971s every time with it cool. And then when we rebuilt it, we shaved the heads 30 thousandths. The guy worked those E6s for me, so it does have the factory. It's pretty much got the factory everything except the pistons. We had to put TRW piston 10-to-1 pistons in it because the flat tops in the 86, the valve, whenever we shaved it, the dude said the valve's going to hit your pistons. That won't work. You got to do something. So we swapped out pistons for something deep. And yeah, we were slow back then, man. Back then, though, 971 was fast. I was one of the faster cars in town. Pretty fair. And 8th mile racing, we were good. But that car was so consistent, though. When it was warmed up, it run a 966 or 977 every time on the drag strip. So all I had to do was cut a light, which I sucked at. I was like a 0.18, 0.22. Usually that's where I cut the light. I hated red lighting because you lose right off the get-go and you don't even feel like racing, finding out how fast your car is. So in bracket racing, though, whenever I would work that light, I could run a 971. I would dial in a 969, I think is what I always dialed in. And I was running 977. Plain simple. So if I cut the light, I would usually break. I'd make somebody break out. Oh my gosh, it's Camaro man. I don't know who that is. It's Camaro weirdo. But yeah. Once we rebuild it, I run a 945 one time. That was with just pistons, upgraded pistons, the TRW 10-to-1s, and the shaved heads is all that car has done. It is the factory cam, the factory crankshaft. Everything is factory on that car except the heads have been shaved and bored, and the pistons. And we dropped 0.3 of a second, which was awesome. And I could run. I think once I got it warm there, I'd run a 963, 965s is what it was running warm every time. It got a little bit slower right after it ran the 940s. I could run a 950s on a cool night, and I didn't crank it a lot before I got up to the line. And that was good enough. I was always racing my buddy with his IROC 350, and that's where Camaro Man came out of, was all the junk. We would talk junk, to each other. It was all week we worked together, and we just talked junk. And one night, it just whoever cut that light on a straight out race with no brackets, with no dial in, we were just running it. Whoever cut the light the best usually won in the 8th mile. That 350, the 305 cars, the Camaro 305 car don't stand a chance. Never did. They were 990s, 10-second cars at best. Well, he said he rode in a GT500. I have yet to ride in a GT500. That's something I want to do. I have not. I saw a beautiful one. The guy special ordered that car. He said it took him a year to get it. They called him and said they couldn't build the 2020, so he got a 2021, and it was an old vet. He had on a Vietnam veteran's hat, a cane, and he's getting out of this $80-some thousand GT500. It was gorgeous. It was black with some type of pearl, and he had it. The reason he had a custom order, he had color change racing stripes, and the edges of them had like a 1/4-inch purple stripe. He said that purple stripe what took them so long. He said, I don't know why they couldn't just put a purple. He said, I told him they didn't have to have it painted. I just wanted the stripes. And he said it took him forever to build that car for him. I wanted to ride in it, but he was busy. So I need to get in one of them just to see what it's like, because I've done the Scat Packs. I would love to get in that. House of Dula is building the 2.3. Yeah. What kind of cam you put in a stock 302 without a mass air conversion? I've heard people have put the E-cams in an 86 and they said it was bearable. When I got my car back on the road a couple years ago, I was talking with a guy about doing a bigger cam, and he said, and he's an ASC certified Ford guy, Fox body guy. He races a Fox body. He says, man, I would not change your cam until you go MAF. He said, you could go with an E-cam. He says, but he said, you're going to lose a lot of brake pressure. A lot of your vacuum, he said, it's going to affect a lot. He said, it's going to change it and you won't like it. And my brakes are already spongy because it's all factory brake mess on my car. And he said, you're just not going to like it. He said, you need to do the MAF conversion. So E-cam is the biggest I heard you can do on a speed density car and like it. If you do any bigger than that, they say it's iffy. So that would be my answer for that, Dexter. But yeah, speed density has its ups and downs. Those are quick cars. A lot of people say that the speed densities are slower, and they were rated at 200 horsepower. Now that 91, I had a 91 GT, bone stock. Matter of fact, the guy who bought it, he had the IROC, the 350 IROC guy I worked with. He had it, he kept it, and he bought this 91 GT because he wanted something he could play with, because it was a little bit cheaper back then to do work on the Fords. You know, they had underdrive pulleys. The aftermarket world was a little bit bigger in the Mustangs back in the 90s. He bought that 91 so he could build it faster than his 350, and that car was slow. And it was a 225, 91 is a mass air car. And when we bought it, I was really depressed. It never run better than, I think the fastest I ever run was a 985. And that's in a car with 220 rated, 25 horsepower more than my 86. But my 86 would just walk the dog on that car. And the problem was it was a 308. It was automatic. But, I'm running an automatic in the convertible in my yellow car. Speed density, but that 327 gear helps a lot. I know gearing helps a bunch if you're just doing short burst drag racing. 8th mile, might as well go 373s or 410s. Depends on how much you're driving the car. But yeah, I hear you, Dexter. I like the sound of a good cam too. But yeah, I wouldn't chance it. Just from everybody I've talked to about it, they're like, you can't go much bigger. Dude drove a Mustang, guys. He drove a 95 GT convertible once. It was fun. I wouldn't mind a convertible either. A Fox or a 71. So you like the 71 73s? I just never. The 73 was my least favorite. I would rather have a 78 Cobra 2 than a 73. I don't know. They lost a look in 73. Funky says an N41. Does N41 cam, does it work good with speed density? Cool deal, Dexter. I appreciate it, man. We're slowly working on it. I don't care if I ever make money on this channel or not. I really don't. I just do it. I like editing and I like playing around with cameras and angles and putting me and cameraman in same shots. I like the editing factor. I've always liked doing editing work. Just sometimes. Sometimes I don't. But yeah, I got my software and stuff to do it. Yeah, the 71 72s look a little better. That 73, that thing lost. I don't know. It just I've never seen too many of them. There are a few, but never seen a bunch of them that look good. They just don't to me, but you know, to each his own. Pittsburgh. I guess late 90s. Yes. He had an 89 GT Road with slush box. Just like my best friend growing up. Yep. Yeah, Mark, those cars, man. Back then, we thought we were something. I remember I went to a town. I always cruised Kinston, which is, you know, up north of me. And I got in the car club there, and we would go different towns, you know, different weekends. And this is back 1990, probably 5 or 6. And we rebuilt the car in 97. So it was in 97. I went to this town, and some guy with a 4.3 with a chip. He had a computer chip. He kept messing with me, a little S10, 4.3. And my dad had an S10 with a 4.3. So I knew I could outrun him. And this guy, we go out of town and we race, and I walk the dog. And he said, I got somebody I want to call. I got a guy with a Mustang. So he goes to a payphone because there's no cell phone. He goes to a payphone and he calls this guy. This guy shows up in this blue coupe. And I'm like, it was like an old cop car. And I got talking. I said, what is that? He says, it's this old SSP car. I said, okay. What you done to it? And he wouldn't really say. He said, let's see. He said, you know, once we race, we'll find out. And they said he was about the fastest car in that town, and my car was probably top 5 in just about any town I went in for back then. Because I mean, just the factory Mustangs were fast back then. That's it. You had the IROC, you had the Trans Ams, and you had the Mustang, and that was it. There was nobody else. There was no other. Those were the fast cars in town. Unless you had some muscle cars. You know, there were some of the guys with the old C10s and the big Chevys, the square bodies with some 350s or a big 400 small block or something. They would wear us out. My buddy, 6'6" Chevelle guy, he's 396. Chevelle with that Muncie 4-speed, they couldn't nobody touch him. He was the fastest guy in our town, period. Nobody. And that's why I love that car, and I'm so glad he restored it. That car it was just awesome. But yeah, I was in that town though. Me and that guy, the SSP car, we raced, and he spun really bad on takeoff. And I got him to the 8th mile and had him by, I think he beat me by a car length at the 1/4 mile. And he had found out back then you could buy, I don't remember if it was Bama or whoever, somebody had a chip. You could do something in that computer in your ECM, change that out. And he had underdrive pulleys, and he had busted, which my car don't have any cats. The cats are there. It'll pass visual inspection, which NC, we don't even have inspection anymore. But back then I had to keep it where it would pass visual inspection. So we gutted the cats and the flow mats. So pretty much free flow exhaust. That's the same thing he was running, but he had the chip and he had the coupe, which is 350 pounds lighter than me. And that was the advantage. He caught me on the other end. He was getting gone. That car was quick for back then. And he's like, your car ain't stock. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, pop the hood on and look at some stuff. And he's looking and said, well, you don't have underdrive pulleys. He said, your exhaust sounds like something. I said, yeah, it's catted. You know, we gutted the cats. And he's like, something. He said, there's no way this convertible is as fast as it is. I said, okay. And then I told him what we'd done. I got a Catless H-pipe from Laurel Mountain Mustang one morning before we went to the track, gained 2/10. Yeah, those cats will slow it down. They do. Some people don't think that's that big a deal, but free flow, I mean, it's not horsepower, but weight loss is not horsepower, but it's a big gain. Free flow exhaust is a big gain. You're not pushing, you're not keeping that engine suffocated. You're letting it breathe. Cracked the 15s and thought he was moving. You know, I never raced a 1/4 mile with my car. I run the 945, and I have I don't know what that would be. Somebody, I think it was like a 1488 is what that's considered in the quarter mile, like a 945, 950. And like I say, whenever it was warm, the car run 958s, 960s, pretty consistent, warmed up. So that's why I was always dialing in. I think I always dialed in like a 958 back then and tried not to break out on it when we were running bracket racing. And yeah, you could do the little things back then. Now these new turbo 4 cars are 330 horsepower and it's just insane. I was talking with a guy at Foxtoberfest. He had the blue on silver 92. It was Coyote swap. Gorgeous car. Fresh paint, fresh everything. This guy. I was talking with that guy right there, and he had the same story I had. He said he parked the car 15 years, and then his son had a what's that little Focus, the Focus RS or whatever it is. Is it a Focus? Yeah, the little fast Ford hatch car. And he said his son was, running 325, 335 horsepower in his little car. And he told his wife, he said, I want to get that blue car back on the road. He says, but I don't want him to outrun me with that little 4-cylinder. And she said, well, rebuild it, do whatever you want. And he bought that Coyote that's in that car. He bought the Coyote and a the 60, what is it, whatever that transmission is everybody's putting behind them. And he said he's smoking his son with that car, that Coyote swap. That is a beautiful car. Beautiful. He said, yeah, he says, I'm pushing right at 475 horses now, and that little 335 can't handle it. I said, good for you. But he had the exact same story I did. He had a kid, diapers. You can't afford a Fox body and diapers at the same time, we found out. So you let the car sit, and then one day it's you look out there and it's like, wow, that car's been sitting out there for 14 years. Time to get it running again. So that's what we did. Mustang guy said, I want to take the cats off my truck and New Edge both. The Aussie Ford V6. Yeah. How is Kentucky on inspections? Mine are. North Carolina's easy. We don't have nothing. Now they send me a letter and said it's time to get a new sticker and give us $70. I think they give it, you do tax and registration all at once. And it's every year. And I think it's like $58. My car's considered to be worth $1,500 in tax value, and I'm not going to argue with them because I only had to pay taxes on it's like $8, and then it's like $40, $45 or $50 for the registration, and that's it. I don't have no inspections. I don't go anywhere. Nobody looks at it. Hey, look at there, Brailsford stuck in there. Yep, just plates and insurance. Yep, that's it. Yeah, sounds like Kentucky's got it going on too then. I like it. I couldn't live in California. Those guys are still having to pass smog. My car would do horrible with a smog test, seeing how there's no smog pump. I'm catless. They look like they're there. That's what counts, right? Car trailer doesn't even. Wow, that's even more. That's better than here. We do have to have a registration sticker on that, but you can buy a lifetime plate. And the sticker, it'll say multi-year on it. And once you buy the plate for your trailer, you pay taxes on whatever the trailer's worth for a certain percentage. And then after that, you don't have to do that. No lights. Good grief. You do have to have lights on your trailer, working lights, and you have to have a tag on it on the car hauler. Because when I borrow Chevelle guys, when I go to Charlotte this year I drove the car everywhere it went. I didn't even trailer it this year at all. But we had a blast driving it. Drove it to Myrtle Beach. And last year I trailered it to Myrtle Beach because I was scared it wasn't going to run. I'm like, why am I scared? I drive this thing everywhere, and I'm not scared. Why not just go 4 hours? That car does fine. Got 24 miles to the gallon on the way back from Charlotte this year. 4-hour drive. I couldn't believe it, which I set the cruise about 75, 76 miles an hour and just rolled with the traffic. Came back on a Sunday. Yeah, we came back on Sunday. There weren't a whole lot of traffic on the interstate. I raced a Nissan Altima, Honda Accord, something like that. And he was walking me down on top end. But a bunch of young guys come outside and give me a thumbs up. And I'm like, let's do this. I just punched it and got back up beside them and took off. Then they ran me down. I know my wife's car, I'm sure it's faster than mine on top end. The Altima out there. It might be. I don't know. I need to blow it up.
No, you don't.
It's running ragged. Yeah, I wouldn't run without lights either. Street Fox is in here. What's up? Street Fox 347. Yeah. I got a 351. I should throw that in that T-top car. My brother-in-law's got it. It's sitting in a Mercury Montego. If anybody knows what those are, it's like a humongous, I don't know, LTD looking thing made by Mercury. It's the weeds. You can't even see the car now. I went hunting the other week before my back went down, and I walked by and I couldn't even see the car anymore. All I could see was the bushes and the trees around the car. And there's a 351 Windsor right there. He told me to get it. I need to get it out of that car. That's what I need to do and start tinkering on that. That would be fun. Put that in the T-top car. 351 with some good heads, pushing about 400 horsepower. That'd be fun, fun, fun.
You already got one to work on.
He says he needs a 302. Yep. Yeah, that 351, man. There's a guy not too far from here, one of my buddies. He's had a couple of Fox bodies. He put a 351 in a 85, and he was telling me how to do it with the convertible, the mounts and all, which I've already got the convertible. It's got the mounts in it, and if I was going that route. But with the other one, with the 85, I could put the convertible mounts in it and a low rise intake and low rise breather. You don't even have to change the hood out, and you have a sleeper car. So you can run a factory hood. He had an 85 with 351. That thing was pretty quick. He's got a Ranger with a 302 setup in it, like a 90 or 91 mass air setup in a Ranger, and it'll spin that little wooden wheel. I think he ended up positive traction it now, but yeah, that 351 is fun. 69 381 is ready to run $500. Wow. That's a good deal. 351 for $500 is a pretty good deal. If I build that one, I'll probably try and push 400 to 450 horsepower with it. That'd be fun, especially that T-top car's got a 373 with full positive rear end. It's locked positive. Oh man. Brailsford said he had to put the boys down to bed. Anyway, it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, man, you need to dig up $500 from somewhere. Sell an organ like a liver or kidney or something.
Bad idea.
Mark Crowley said he's looking for a 96, 98 Cobra, but they're all being gobbled. Yeah. Anything with the word Cobra on it, Shelby, stays high. It's like the 93 Cobras in the Fox world. Those things are crazy expensive. But yeah, 96, 98, that would be a fun swap too. I've seen some Terminator swaps in the Foxes, and yeah, that looks like fun. That's what that guy had. The guy who swapped out the 85, he had 351 in it. He's a Ford guy, true and true. He has got he bought a Terminator. He had that. I think, did he get it before or after he bought a GT350? He bought a GT. I think he bought the GT350 and said he didn't like it. He said it was just too much really for street driving. So he bought the Terminator and he liked that, and then he traded that in on a he's got a 2020 GT. And I think there's three like 2019, 2020 cars in his yard now. It's insane right by there. And there's 3 Mustangs, blue, gray, and white, I think it is. And his daughter's got one. His daughter and wife got the Turbo 4s, and he's got the V8. Yeah, my cousin, he came up here. He used to have an 85 GT. And he came up one day he's got a 94 and was wanting to know what I thought about doing this, that, and then I'm like, I have no clue about a SN95 car. I just don't. I got so much junk trivia about the Fox bodies in my head that I don't even use. I'd hate to know, even try and get started in anything newer. And we'll tell y'all this, Matt at Fox Resto, that dude is, man, he knows his Fox body stuff. because I was looking at there's a door panel. The driver's side door panel was missing on the T-top car. And I was at Foxtoberfest. The deals were insane. If you could hit the right deal. I needed a spoiler, and the big items I needed, the spoiler was busted on the back where a tree hit it or something hit it. And I was missing that door panel. So at the end of the day, I said, right now is the time to go. I'd almost forgot because I was entertaining people. We were filming and just cutting up all day at Foxtoberfest. I said, we got to go to swap meet, see if we can't find some door panels. And the 85, 86 door panels are different than the 83, 84s, the 79, 82s. They're all a little bit different. There's a little stuff different. I didn't know what was what. And I happened to run across Matt from Fox Resto. I said, hey, Matt, I said, what should I be looking for here? I would love to get 85, 86. He said, make sure it's not convertible. I said, why? They won't fit? He said, no. He said, every door panel will fit on a Fox body. He said, and you want to go 86 and under, because if not, then you change wiring and you change the looks. 87, the Aero cars, they changed the handrails and everything. He said, but the convertibles, the carpet's taller and the mat door's taller. I had no clue. I thought I knew a bunch of junk trivia, but he's like, yeah. He says, if you do get one, he said, make sure you get both. That way your carpet's same height on both sides. He said, because it won't matter. It's going to be in the T-top car, as long as they match. I think I ended up, I believe the ones I have are 83, 84s because they're different. The 85, 86 has a chrome trim that comes down and runs about a third of the way up the door and runs over. So I learned that. Street Fox says he likes my T-top car. For $5,000, you can get it. I'll give you everything with it. That comes with the door panels. That's the door panels. For $5,000, I'll sell you my 2 door panels that I just paid $40 for. I got those door panels. I had already budgeted $300-$400 for door panels. Just figured that's what it's going to cost to get me some good door panels. Foxtoberfest. When at the end of the day, everybody's trying to sell stuff because they don't want to take it back to wherever they came from. And he says, I was like, how much for them? And there was no price on the door panels. And the younger guy, he's like, I don't know. And he looks at another one that's eat all up with just water rod or something on that. It's cardboard on the backside of the door panels. He said, that one's 20. He said, give me $40. I said, a piece? He said, no, together. I said, deal. I'll do it. So I got some really nice looking door panels for $40. And I got a spoiler, 85 spoiler, because I didn't want to deal with running a third brake light. I could. I mean, it ain't but one wire. It's not hard to figure out, but I just went ahead and got one. Just think I got it for $40. I didn't spend $80 and got some good car parts. So that's what Foxtoberfest is good for. You get to see the world of Fox bodies, and you get really good deals. Y'all going to Ford Takeover. Man, that is a 17-hour drive. 14 if I was by myself. 17, 18 hours. I'd have to trailer the car. I'm not riding in a Fox body that long, especially with my back, the way my back's being. But I don't know, man. That's such a long ride. Just
we can leave the car here
to go to a drag show. Yeah, now my mother-in-law dates a pilot, and if I can talk him into let me just pay for fuel and let me fly part of the way, and he can nap or whatever, and let me have the control. He's got autopilot on the quick plane. If we could fly there, or I might just I could probably get an airline cheaper, and I can afford to pay the fuel to fly there. I just don't know. That's such a long ride. I don't normally go more than, I'm gonna go to Pigeon Forge probably in April or May, because the Yellow Mustang group, they're having a big meet. They're trying to get about 150 yellows there together. We had 60 something the other year, but this would be like the 20th anniversary. And I think the 10th anniversary, they had 107 cars. So we're thinking 20th anniversary, they'll have a bunch of yellows there, and they're really nice people, just like the Fox world. They're just some great people. And seeing all those yellow cars take over all of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, people just freak out. They don't know what to think of it. That's the furthest I've ever been with the car. And that's 8-9 hours, about 9 hours from here. Usually we trailer it the first 6 to a cabin. We've got a place up in the mountains my mother-in-law owns. I help build it, and we trailer the car to there and then just drive down the other 3 hours over to Pigeon Forge. Street Fox 347, new to the channel. Well, thank you, Street Fox, for joining in. He has 2 86 Mustangs now. I need to sell some of my parts. You need any more 86 parts? Do you have the inner door panels? Because I would love to put that 85, 86. I don't know why, which I've got the seats in it are out of a 92 I've got the factory 85, 86 seats, but one of them was rusted up so bad there's no helping it. So I bought some 92 guy here had them for $100 for the 2 seats that broke, and I took the frames off of that convertible car I had, the parts car, and so I've got seats in it, and I put the Halo headrests on because I like those Halo headrests. They just look good to me. I put those on it versus doing regular cushiony, LX seats that are in it. I need an 86 GT nose and tail lights. Yeah, I've got an 86 GT nose out there, but you can't have it because Old Yeller's going to get her GT nose back. She is a true GT, and whenever I get it painted, the 86 nose is going back on it. Sell me some parts. Anything but the shell. Yeah, I would love to have. I don't know. I don't care. I got door panels now. We're going to put them in there and see. I might actually like the 83, 84 retro look. Just call the car Frankenstein because it'll have door panels from 83. It's got all kinds of 92 seats. That's like everybody else. He wants to make his 87, 86. Yeah, you got to go with 4 eyes, man. I don't know. Some people don't like the 4 eyes. I guess I do just because I have them. I don't mind the other ones. I've had a 91. So, I mean, I like the Aero cars too, but the 4 eyes, I just know more about them now, so it's just easier to stay there. Welcome back, Brailsford. Got the kids asleep. Yeah, I think the shipping, their Street Fox would be the problem on that. And I've got some, and I need to put them in the car and see what they look like. Brailsford, any evening, man. Any evening other than probably Wednesdays. I'm usually at church on Wednesday evenings, but you can come by any evening. I need to go by your house, look at your Christmas lights. We almost loaded up the car this afternoon since it's out of the shop right now. I was tempted to load up. We all going to take off and go by and run a look at your Christmas lights. Oh yeah, gray interior, man. That way yeah, that's cool. That's what I need. But yeah, just message me on Facebook whenever you want to come by. We'll take a look at it. I need to look at your car. You've had it right good while, and I still ain't seen it. I just these last 3 weeks have been no fun with my back, but now that I can handle riding around again. We got to get out there. Maybe next weekend I might swing by your house, Brailsford. Check out your lights. Do I need to turn my radio to a certain station, or you got a loudspeaker outside? Mustang guy say the 4 eyes look better. Yeah, and 4 eye versus Aero, I think they both have their own look. The 4 eyes when they're done right, and the Aeros when they're done right. It depends. There's a lot of things depends on what makes a car look right or not. Mustang guys, I'm bringing the T-top in to work on 89.1 FM. Yeah, we got a deal. We're having a drive through at our church next weekend, and we got a FM modulator guy bought, and that thing is powerful. I was amazed at how powerful it was. I'm like, holy cow. I played Jam On It by Nucleus, the 1984 hip-hop breakdance song. I put that on there because I knew that wouldn't be playing on the radio anywhere, and turned that thing to 88 one, I think is where I went. And I went, man, I was a half a mile down the road, and that thing was no static still. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So, yeah. Are we going anywhere near Jacksonville next weekend?
Let me check my planner.
Yeah, we got to check the planner and see. There was like pop-up meets yesterday. There was one in Jacksonville. And I was going to go, and I didn't see it till 9:30, and it was over at like 11. And I'm like, man, it's like a 30-minute drive for me to get there. And
church thing is Sunday and Monday night.
Yeah. And then there was a pop-up last night. There was the grease spot last night. There was a pop-up today. And I'm like, these pop-up meets, you can't just, I don't like all of a sudden pop up. I like plan out a day or two ahead. I'm old. Set my ways.
You're not old. I don't see anything else.
Yep. I still want that motor. Brailsford still wants my motor. Well, now, you and Mustang guy, we can do some bidding right here. Because he's wanting a 302. You're wanting a 302. Oh. Street Fox, he agrees on the 4i versus the Aero. Yeah, it just depends on the car, the stance. Because I like my car without without that fake saline wing. Doesn't look right to me. I've got pictures of it without it, and I like that look on it because it's. I think if it was an Aero car, I probably wouldn't as much, unless I had a cow hood, because I like the angles on my yellow Fox Body Guy logo. You got that saline wing does an angle. You got a little bit of an angle from the top to the front to the windshield, and then you got the angle from it. So it was like 3 straight lines that just angle, angle, angle. I just like the look of it versus on the Aero cars, the saline wings look good. On the coupes, it depends on those coupes. I don't know. They're just some of them. It all depends, and then wheel selection is huge on that. I'd love to get a better set of wheels on my yellow one, but those Cobras look decent on it. And, you know, everybody had them whenever I got those. Everybody was running. Now everybody's running. And I like the 10th anniversary wheel. I like the looks of that. So I get that, and then everybody's going to that. And then everybody's went to the saline reps. Anything with a five spoke, 5-star look, like the Cobra reps or the saline wheels or the anything 5-spoke looks good on the Mustang to me. They just do. And those 10th anniversary wheels look good. They're like a 6 double spoke. Stupid Fast Truck said the 83 GT is his favorite. Yeah, I like those. I used to didn't like the grills on the 83, 84s, but I do like them now. They've grown on me. Everything growing on me. Like I say, it's all in the looks. It's all in the setup. Because that one car, and here's a good deal for somebody. This T-top right here. Look at that blue on silver, 86 T-top. The guy wants $5,500 for it. I don't remember what state it was in, but it's got a red interior, so that means it was not a blue car on the outside. But that was a good deal on that car, I thought, because I cannot build that T-top out there that cheap to look that good. I'll just guarantee you I cannot do it. And that ain't the point. But wheel and color combo is the best. It just that's what makes a car, honestly, is the wheel and the color combo. Mine's got ponies. Yeah, I got ponies on that 85 right now just because I had them. They were on that 88 parts car, and I'm like, I'd rather have these. They look better. Let's see. I'm looking for something for y'all. I'll show you where wheel and combo works. Now, that yellow saline I showed y'all a while ago, the one that was at Foxtoberfest, he has painted the wheels gray mesh. I liked it better when the wheels were yellow mesh. I like that look. To me, the yellow does better than the gray. He painted it gray, and whenever I saw it in person, I'm like, hey, there's that car I almost bought. I saw the gray wheels. I'm like, nope, I don't know. It just don't look as good to me as it does in the yellow wheels. Frank 3 Stains dropped up in here. Met old Frank over there at Foxtoberfest. You need to move back over here, Frank. Get on this side of the state. Brailsford picked up some goodies for the Fox Body today. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Scoring parts. I've got all the big parts I need. I got my seat. I got my door panels. I got the wing on the back. Now I just need to cut out that bad section, snatch the motor and cut out that bad section. But I got a few other goals I got to do first. We're slowly cleaning it. Right now we're just in slow cleanup mode, getting window tint, 25-year-old window tint off of it. And we got the T-tops clean. They look good. The back glass is almost, I think that's all we lack on it, getting the window tint off of it and getting that and cleaning it up a bit. Then I just need to rip everything out and start from scratch because it's going to be a long road. Should be a fun little project. But I'm probably just going to buy a Harley for it right now and get the brakes working and get it where I can just drive it and might drive it around to all the meets, beat all the pieces. Whenever the weather ain't good for the yellow one, just drive the T-top car to some of the meets and let people laugh at it, all the rust and all the gunk from sitting in the field. But that'd be fun. Maybe somebody offer me $5,000 for it the way it sits. I'll sell it for that. Old Frank's got some nice cars too. Yeah, Brailsford. I joined that Jacksonville Fox Body Group. I saw it pop up the other week, and or somebody invited me. One of those guys that knew about it, he invited me. I was going to start one, but I'm glad they did. Saved me the work. Yeah, I joined it. Should be fun. Get up together and do some cruising. I was busy that day. They did the Paul Walker Cruise, which my back was down then. Yeah, that was that really bad weekend. I could not get in the car. It was horrible. Yeah, looking forward to rounding up some. We got Kevin Johnson over here. He goes to all the Fox stuff and all the big Mustang Week stuff. I think he said he's living in Wilmington now, but I'm a Facebook friend with him, and he's got a beautiful car. That he's 5-lug swap and got those SVE wheels on it. It's just pretty. It looks almost identical to Surbinator's car. The guy who does all the Surbinator wing stuff. The cars are almost identical. Yeah, Brailsford, I hear you. That's what I don't. There's 2 things I don't do, and that's burnouts at car shows, leaving car shows, or in cruises. Because number one, it gives the whole group a bad name. And number 2, it gives the whole group a bad name. Number 3, you could kill somebody. And now that I'm older, I realize all this. And I ain't saying I didn't do it whenever I was young, like a lot of those guys in that cruise probably were. But, I mean, if you act like you got some decent common sense, the car culture will end up better off for that versus just cutting up and being stupid. I heard there was a guy last night at the grease spot. I didn't go because I was at the parade, but a guy in a Corvette pulled out of there and about lost it and almost went in the ditch, and he was all out in front of cars because he lost control. I mean, come on, man. Everybody knows almost any car with a V8 can spin a wheel, and we all know that you can't drive and that you're probably going to wreck it. So don't prove either one of those to us. Most V8 cars can spin a wheel. Other than Brailsford, other than your 85, I understand it can't. But at least that's what your boy says. I'm just saying.
Oh.
But it's just don't act like a fool. I will not video it. The reason you haven't seen, I mean, maybe out here on the country road in the middle of nowhere just by myself, but I ain't even gonna race another car out here because I realize how crazy and dumb that is, and it can ruin your life forever, especially if you wreck and hurt somebody or kill somebody in another car. And then what you gonna do? Total your $15,000 car? And all these people at Mustang Week, it aggravates me. Broadway at the beach will let you stay there until they close, and then used to they let you stay there after they close. But then everybody's out there doing burnouts in their parking lot, and then you run into other people, and then the cops get involved. Everybody says that the Myrtle Beach cops are horrible and they're all against us. They are not all against Mustangs. They were giving out tickets in 1993 when I was down there cruising in my car when it was still black. They were giving out tickets for people being stupid. And it is now 2021 and the almighty dollar reigns. And the Myrtle Beach cops are still doing the exact same thing they've been doing for the last 30 years. They have always been like that. Whenever they passed the cruising law down in Myrtle Beach at 2:00 a.m., go home, don't cruise anymore. We got a cruising ticket one night out there. A whole bunch of us in the car club were cruising, and they give us all tickets. It's just don't act like a fool and obey the law and go home. That's all you got to do. But I won't record it. I mean, I was talking with Gearhead. He said he won't record it either. We were down at Myrtle Beach. Probably suck, bang, blow, and there were just people doing burnout. Everybody standing out on the street just begging people to do it, and then Mustangs get a bad name. That's what I don't like about it is you got all these videos of Mustangs leaving Mustang Week back, especially back when it was at the mall, and they're running into the crowd and jumping across 3 lanes of cars and taking out 2 or 3 cars, and I'm like, you're giving Mustangs a bad name. Now we are considered the crowd control crew. I don't like that. What's the point? Grow up. The fan will spin too fast when you try to do a burnout. My fan's electric now. It don't come on until it hits 170. So, yeah, the cops are not bad if all you gotta do is mind your own business, and just be smart. Because I'm not gonna cut up at Myrtle Beach. I watch anybody else. I'm not gonna film people doing burnout. I don't agree with it. It's just stupid. You're giving the whole culture a bad name. You're giving Mustangs a bad name Because this year we were on the strip,
You
our
give love a
hotel.
bad name.
Yeah, you give love a bad name, what Bon Jovi said, my wife. But, you know, I was at a hotel right on the strip, and they were revving up the engines until midnight plus, and the cops had to come out here and stop it. And then you're in the elevator in your hotel going down, and somebody sees your Mustang Week shirt, and they're going, you know, I don't spin wheels. That was not me, I promise you. By 11:30, I was tired and ready to go to bed. You know, and it just, the cops are not bad if you're not bad, but they don't play down there. They will arrest you for doing a burnout in the wrong spot at Myrtle Beach. They just, and that's a money. I mean, that Myrtle Beach is a money maker. Those cops, they were told, let's make money. Yeah, we got to let Camaro Man get the bad name. Yeah, definitely. Camaro Man, he needs to get his car running. He needs to get him Camaro. I don't even know what he's driving now. Last I heard, his electric scooter, the battery died. It won't even take a
He
charge.
needs to wash his clothes.
Yeah.
Stop.
But yeah, I don't like those shenanigans. That's why, yeah, I won't join a lot of the younger cruises, especially with all the racer cars. I don't do that. I rarely go on a cruise with those guys because there's no sense in it. I'm not going to, it's just dumb. I remember being dumb and stupid, I know, but now I'm old and wore out, and I just don't know. Yeah, Mustang guy. I know the video you're talking about. There was one year they did, and the loud exhaust. I mean, the loud exhaust. You know, you want your car to be loud. I get it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, and I know the people in here probably will agree with me. Mainly, a Coyote motor does not sound as good as the old 5.0 push rod to me. And these Coyotes, they put those Dynaflows or whatever these loud mufflers are on it. It does not sound good, first off. All it is loud. Loud, whoopee-doo, your car's loud. I don't care about loud. And it just, I mean, whoopee-doo. Whoopee-doo, your car's loud. Rev it up. Nobody else. I promise you, the other 3,000 Mustangs out here with Coyotes in them, they're loud. And yeah, that girl, I know there was one the other year. I think it was Stang Life. He showed it was his girlfriend or somebody. She pulled through an intersection. She did not spin the wheel, but she got on it pretty hard, and it was loud, and a motorcycle cop got her, and they arrested her and took her to jail. And it is cheaper just to go ahead and pay the fines and be done with it. But they said she spun a wheel, and they had it on video. She did not spin the wheel. If they, you know, they would have had to stay another 3 days to go to court to fight it. So then you're making Myrtle Beach more money. So I get why they didn't fight it. They just went back to Virginia where they're from. But yeah, why be loud through the intersection? Why can't you just drive like you got some common sense? That's my question on that. I know I'm getting old. Funky 5 says Camaro Man is low. He's old and wore out. But yeah, there's no sense. Don't even rev up. There's just no sense in it. All right. We got our first bot in here. Daniel with a crazy bot. Whatever that is. I'm going to block that. Bye-bye. Yeah. How do I make you a moderator? Which I'm about to close this thing out. I've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, I ain't gonna worry about it. Brailsford, I would. I'll get up with you about that, about making you a moderator. No biggie. But because I'm gonna get off here. I've been on here an hour and 13 minutes, it says. I just want to do something since I weren't filming because I haven't been anywhere yet. There's a bunch of people in here. I don't know. 4 people, 4, 8, I don't know. There ain't a big crowd, but yeah, the Coyotes do sound. I like the sound of them until they get so loud and they're hitting the rev limiter and it's 11:30 at night that none of them sound good at 11:30 at night to me anymore. Because the Mustang week, I was like, good grief, people, we get it. Your car sounded just like the other Coyote with the whatever loud exhaust. Camaro Man is riding an old BMX pony sold to him 30 years ago. Yeah, pony's back into the old racing bikes now, man. It's pretty wild stuff. 11:31. No, anything past 11:30, and I just don't like it loud. We have the plague of the squatty trucks. It's like Squatty Truck Central. Now that the new law has kicked in here in North Carolina, it makes it illegal. That didn't help the exhaust because all them guys are running like straight pipes with these ugly 4-inch crap turned out the sides by the wheels. And it's just, and I got a couple of them live on my road, and I'm like a quarter mile from the stop sign. So it's like, come by here, just there's a difference between being loud and sounding good, and people don't know the difference. And the two-step ricer stuff, like the exhaust competitions at the local shows, guys are shooting flames and doing all this cool stuff. It's fair, but I don't like the backfiring and something sounds like a shotgun going off whenever you let off the gas. It doesn't impress me at all. I like the old Flowmaster behind a 302 sound. It just, especially with like the almighty B cam. I can't put a B cam in my car because of the speed density, but man, the almighty B cam and drivability. I would not want a B cam riding down Myrtle Beach Strip. That would be no fun. Brailsford saw a squatter getting a ticket. Yeah, I mean, hey, you asked for it, putting your headlights in my eyeballs. That's the only thing. The squatting, I know it messes up all your cornering and all that. And most of them are young kids, don't know how to drive anyway, and they go flying around a curve with the front end all up in the air. Good grief, you're asking for trouble. And then the headlights in my eyes is always the worst problem I had with squatters. I'm happy those kids are spending money on their vehicles versus drugs or being out there doing drugs or anything like that. More than happy that the car scene is there. It ain't my bag of tea, but when I had a lowrider, I had hydraulics on it, and I could, do front, back, side to side, 3-wheel. And a lot of people didn't get that, and they thought it was stupid. So, I'm not going to say it. I ain't going to say it's stupid, but I will say it's stupid. I just don't get it. Especially, you don't care about me whenever you're putting your headlights in my eyes. And then what's funny is now that it's hunting season, we're down here in the South where it's hunting season, and you can run dogs. You can actually chase deer out of the woods with dogs. They've got a dog box in a truck that sits like this, and all these dogs are fighting for dear life not to get mashed against the tailgate of the truck. So you don't even care about your dogs. And then you whine and complain because I kicked your dog or I ran over your dog that was chasing the deer that ran out in front of me. You get mad with me for that, but you're riding around with your dog mashed up against the tailgate, 5 dogs back there trying to hang on for dear life, like you don't care about dogs or others. And that's the only thing I have with cars. I don't care if somebody paints their car pink, yellow, purple, green, whatever color. As long as you're not hurting me or my family or putting us in danger, do whatever you want. At 11:30, we're all trying to sleep. Do whatever you want to 11:30. Just be respectful of others and give the car culture a good name. Because like I say, I heard of people at Mustang Week. There were people there, and you get in the elevator and like, is there like a Mustang show? I'm seeing a lot of Mustangs. They don't know. They just show up at Myrtle Beach because they just go to Myrtle Beach. It's a tourist trap. And so they go to Myrtle Beach, and then it's like, yeah. And they're like, why are they so loud? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why they are. Mine's not. Sorry. I'll apologize for them, even though it weren't me. But Camber guys are stupid. Yeah, I agree with that. That makes no sense to me. Hey, let's wear out my tires faster. I don't like spending money on tires. I hate spending money on tires. Funky 50 lowrider in the back, raised in the front. Squatter. Yeah, Funky, you're lucky you live up there where the plague didn't take over of the squatty trucks, dude. It's just ridiculous. Whistling Diesel bought one, that blue one that he bought, and he grinded it up with a stump grinder. Had a guy grind it. Now, that was great. That made my day. The Camber guys, yeah, we get the Camber up here too. Yeah, I don't mind the lowriders because you're really not affecting me. You're not putting my family in danger unless you've done some shoddy work on it. But the headlights in my eyeballs on these squatty trucks and the loud exhaust after it's bedtime, that really gets on my nerves. My 65 is long tube headers in the glass backs. Yeah, don't start after dark. Yeah. And that's me. I don't get out there in my Mustang at sleepy time. I got out there today and did a little burnout just because I hadn't drove
I'm
it
going to do one right now.
forever. Mustang. No, you won't. You probably won't even be able to find the keys. They'll hit them in the car somewhere. Well, anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for stopping in, chatting. I'm going to get out of here. And I appreciate everybody who watches my silly channel, as we always say. I will see you guys somewhere else. I might go live again some other day. It just depends on what kind of footage I got. I got a couple of ideas. I think I got like 3 more ideas for videos. And we got one crazy, silly one, kind of like the Fox's All video that we did. Got another one, something like that we want to do. Just a matter of filming and getting a few more people for that. No, not over a sun visor, not on the convertible.
You should show him the sleeping cat.
But anyway, yeah. Me and Miss Whiskers here. She's been right there for this whole hour and 15 minutes. we're going to check out of here. So I appreciate everybody for stopping into the channel. God bless you all.
Peace.
Peace.